Hello. It's Thursday at 12:30. You know what that means. Ounce of Prevention chat time. I'm Dr. Stephanie Fine. It's so good to be with you, and we talk about weight loss maintenance. That's what we do here. And we do that each week, Thursday at 12:30. And this week we are talking about discomfort and weight loss. I have had evolution of thought on this because I always think we should avoid discomfort. I generally think that's something we should avoid. And yet, as we change and grow, I cannot see a way to do that without some discomfort. Now, I don't think it needs to be insanely uncomfortable, and it shouldn't be painful to the point of trauma, but I do now see how the discomfort is actually, and this is the reframing, discomfort is actually the growth. That's how we know we're growing, because we're doing something that is different than what we had done before. And we're doing something different because we want a different outcome. And if you want a different outcome, you have to do something different. Doing something different equals discomfort. So discomfort has many levels, right? Like I said, traumatic, obviously we want to avoid that, but there's a little bit of discomfort. And what I talked about in the blog is about Pilates. So I started to do Pilates. There's some discomfort in going to the Pilates class, but that's not even the discomfort I'm talking about. I'm talking about when you actually, use your muscles and you fatigue them. There's discomfort there. Now, I could do it where I don't have any discomfort, and then my muscles won't grow. So I need to feel some discomfort. Now, here's the beauty. I do it in a very prescribed way. I'm there for 45 minutes or whatever, 55 minutes. And that is, I know that's what I'm doing. And if I'm feeling well that day, I can push it a little more. If I'm not feeling as well, I do what I need to do. So there's a modulation. There's a time I know that there's going to be discomfort. I am willing to be in discomfort during that time because I know there'll be a benefit. That's the exact same thing with weight loss maintenance and weight loss, is that you're changing your food behaviors. You are not soothing yourself with food because it doesn't serve you to be the weight that you want to be. So you need to find other ways to soothe yourself, but in the meantime, you have to tolerate the discomfort of not giving in to that urge. And so there'll be some discomfort there, right? Because you have a want or a habit that you do, and you're changing that. So now you're sort of stuck, and it's like a scratch that you're not itching, or an itch that you're not scratching. And that's actually a perfect analogy. It can be very difficult. I mean, sometimes it can't be done. You have the itch and you have to scratch it. Sometimes that will happen with behavior change. It just does. You try your best, and some days you'll be able to do it and some days you won't. So there were 3 steps to getting through the discomfort of growth, okay? Number 1 was doing it, feeling the fear and doing it anyway. When you know there's going to be some discomfort, a lot of times we won't do it. But that's part of the growth, right? That's part of what we're planning to do. We know we want to change our behavior. We know we want a different outcome. So we are going to do this anyway, even if it feels weird. It's that decision that we're going to make, okay? Once you make that decision, the chances of success are much, much higher. Okay, step 1, feel the fear, do it anyway. Step 2 is keeping the end in mind, which is actually how that's the plan, right? You're sort of doing that at all times. You know you want something, you've decided you want something, and you want it enough that you're willing to change for it. And so that's first how you make the decision to do it, and that's how you make the decision to continue, is that you're keeping that in mind. That motivation is very important, and you keep it top of mind. And the third thing is revel in the feeling of pride that you did it. It feels good to do things that are hard and that you've accomplished. That's a great feeling pride. And that you get to capitalize on that. I made it through the urge of not, eating that cookie. I'm proud of myself. Good job. So that part is really important because you're then balancing out some of the discomfort with a good feeling, a different good feeling. And let me tell you something, your brain takes notice of that. So you can have the discomfort, but know you're going to have a good feeling. That's what happens after Pilates, right? I'm doing it, and there's stretching at the end, and then the next day when I feel a little soreness, I know I'm getting stronger. And that will be the same thing, that keeping the end in mind, knowing I didn't gain weight this week because of all those decisions I made. And I wrote out some discomfort and I did it. Now, here's the good news. Consistently writing out the discomfort makes it easier. You will actually extinguish that discomfort by continuing to do it. That's the beauty. That's like the goal, right? With muscle building, I'll be doing it forever. I always want, I mean, and believe me, I'm not going nutty with the muscle building, but what I mean is I will constantly be growing. So there will constantly be tweaks that you're making, but it won't be the same one. And when you clear out the big problems, whether that's nightly wine or dessert or snacking on Starbucks scones or whatever it is, when you clear out those big ones, the little ones are much easier to deal with. Much easier. You're like, I've been there. I've done that. I've proven to myself I can do it. And I remember that pride feeling. It's a good feeling. I love that feeling. And you can only get that when you accomplish hard things, when you try to do hard things, and when you do them. And only you really know when they're hard. Like you get to be proud of yourself. And you can share it or you can keep it to yourself, either one. So that's what's important about this topic, is this idea that it may not be easy breezy, but it's worth it. And discomfort means growth. And I think we always want to be growing and moving towards our ideal self, our ideal weight, our ideal job, our ideal parenting, our ideal relationship, our ideal, you can constantly be getting better, because once we have the foundation, we can build on it. And now we're here and we can build on that. And now we're here, that's the growth that we're looking for as humans, to just keep getting better and better. So feeling the fear and doing it, the fear does not mean you shouldn't do it. That's the point about that. If it's a smart thing to do, and when it's a smart thing to do, jumping off a bridge or whatever is not a smart thing to do, but you know what I'm talking about. When you've decided that, I don't need the wine at night anymore, then moving through it, what that requires of you is worth it. And you can do it. So we're reframing discomfort as growth. We also want to be really aware when there's too much pain and when there's just enough pain. So like with Pilates, I don't go nuts and so I have an injury. You do what you can do. If it's too emotionally painful, then you scale it back. Start with a smaller baby step. You can do this. You can do what needs to be done when you find yourself in a position where things aren't going well, then evaluating it, doing what needs to be done, and you can do it. And then you get all that pride feeling and your clothes fit. It's a win-win. So I adore you. I'm so happy to be with you. And I am excited to talk to you about discomfort. It's not my favorite topic. I usually say these are my favorite topics. I don't like discomfort, but I do see and understand the value of going for it anyway. Not shying away from discomfort, but going through it so that so that you can get to the goal that you want. That's how we do it as humans. That was the setup. So, good to see you. I will see you next week. Bye for now.